the gang called Gypsy. Gang and they come and get Gypsy. Gang and they come and get Gypsy. Gang. I met a Gypsy. Gang. I met a Gypsy.
So what was we spoke to Jet a little bit about the Forkner thing. What was like? Have you had any like existing shit with him, or that was just sort of out of the blue with him?
That's the first time. No, like that was. I think that's why I kind of reacted how I did. Obviously, it was a silly thing to do, but I didn't care at the time. And I've never spoken to the guy, never raced him. I raced him once on an 85 at the Bulgarian Junior World Championships, which, dude, he wouldn't have remembered racing me. Like that's how far along ago, and I didn't like what else. And it was that heater lap. We did a heater lap, right? And before that, you look to try and position yourself to get over a clean lap. And I looked, and he was behind me. I'm like, okay, so I still rolled the second last corner, and he wasn't like trying to get past me, So I was singing around like, okay, I wasn't a dick in trying to get in front of him before the heat lap.
Yeah.
So he started behind me, and then we done the heat lap, and it was all the way up until the second last corner. He caught me a little bit, finally there, but not to where he had to slow down. And then it was the last corner. I think I came out of the corner a little bit off balance and like didn't scrub over that little double. So I maybe cost him 0.1 tenth of a second, like barely anything, And then
but I feel like that's not on you, right?
No, I mean, dude, hey, how many times does a slower rider mess up your heat lap? Like it's
that's
just
kind of the art of qualifying, bro.
Exactly, and dude goes over the finish line, like does the big head shake, and then like I just pull off out of the main line, so I'm not dicking anyone else's lap up, and then he just rides up, like clicks gears up beside me, and then full like hits my front wheel and like bars, and I'm like, is this guy for real? Like I didn't hear him. He wasn't panic revving me or nothing the whole lap, so I didn't even know he was there.
Yeah.
And I was just like, you're such a freaking entitled princess. Like, dude, get off your high horse. And like, yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to freaking play your little girl, like whatever.
And then, so what's going through your head in that moment? Because essentially it's like, fuck, man, you're in this, you're all in the sand pit essentially. And it's like, if you don't kind of lay down your position in that hierarchy and kind of lay down the foundation of like how you're going to be treated. So is that kind of what you were thinking in terms of the reaction? Is like you kind of just going to let him know that if it happens, there will be a reaction from you?
Oh, 100%, I'm not battling with him for a title in Supercross, but I'm sure I will be in outdoors, That's what we're aiming for. So it's just the fact that, like, dude, I'm out there, like, trying to get a lap in just like every other single guy on there, and he's got to throw his hands up in the air like he does and just carries on with such an attitude. Like, dude, calm down. Like, yeah, I don't even care about it because I don't want to get pushed around. Like, I'm not looking for trouble. I'm not wanting to be the guy that's got to run it in like that. Obviously, he cut down out of the corner a lot sooner than I anticipated. So that probably didn't help my case. But at the same time, hey, it is what it is. You're human. You make mistakes. It's part of life. Live and learn.
And then there was the whole deal with Ferrandis where he that was kind of gnarly, to be honest. Like, the way that Ferrandis went over the bars into the face of that triple. Like, that was actually no joke, dude.
Yeah, that was crazy. And I have a feeling that if you tried to reenact that exact pass, I think you could do it 100 times and not have the same outcome of what happened. Like, I think it was such a freaking crazy, like a crazy timing. His rear wheel went under, like it was the same as the A1 crash. Like, his bike went under Craig's and kicked him, and then McAdoo's rear wheel went under his and just ejecto-ceto cars. Like, it was, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so was it McAdoo that took Ferrandis out? I thought it was Forkner.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it wasn't Forkner.
Oh.
I don't think he'd ever run it in on Ferrandis. I don't think he's.
Yeah, dude, Ferrandis ain't that guy, bro.
Yeah. Don't, that ain't it, Chief. Don't be playing with him. I mean, Dylan, I don't classify him as a dirty rider, but it's just the same deal. If you're going to dish it out, hey, expect it back. Like Osborne, the same deal. Jason Anderson. I mean, list goes on.
Yeah, I think the A2 crash with for Anderson Craig as well was just kind of gnarly. Like that ended up being the freak takeout that just looked so spectacular. But I just think that was the world's that was like Mercury in retrograde and just creating like the worst crash from a kind of harmless takeout. Yeah. But that turn was pretty fast after the finish line.
It was. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, Dylan was coming in fast. Like, he was coming in to make the move, but at the same time, like, it's just, it's a mistake, dude. It's sure, if it was me in there, I'd probably be pissed at the guy, like, you're an idiot. Like, what were you thinking was going to happen? But, hey, at the end of the day, everyone's got their reasoning. You know, like, as much as I don't really care to understand Forkner's reasoning, he probably had a reason for whatever it was, you know?
Yeah, no. And I mean, you guys are in like an ecosystem. There's a certain pecking order, there's a hierarchy, there's dudes that have you stay out of his way, you can't run it in on this guy, and that's all created on the playground, bro. Like you guys are essentially kids on a playground.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. There's always a pecking order. If it was a race and he'd done that to me in a race, I can probably say 99% sure I wouldn't have done that, just because my common sense would have kicked in. Hey, you're nowhere near in the points. He's going for a title. Just leave it be. Your day will come, you know. Like, but just the fact that it was the first qualifying session, it is what it is. Everyone finds their pecking order, and it's just everyone's trying to prove themselves at the end of the day.
Hey, and the Hunter boys, the Lawrence boys ain't nothing to fuck with.
Yeah, exactly. Got to set a good tone. One guy texted my agent and said, you know what they say in prison, you got to find the biggest guy and take him down.
Yeah, dude. And hey, full credit to Austin. He fucking waxed that main event.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I delivered a punch in the fight, but he won the fight with a knockout in the end when he lapped me. So gotta give credit where credit's due. I'll take that one on the chin.
It's that's the move, bro. Like I feel like people get so butthurt in this sport over shit like that, and it's like for you to just kind of be able to, you made your point and you kind of made the statement. They're like, hey man, if you do run it in on me, it is going to come with something on the backside of it. There ain't no free takeouts here. But at the end of the day, like to sit there and still respect the dude for throwing down in the main event, like he fucking went full G mode that night.